Viewers,
Okay.
it's been a while since we heard Professor R. Vaidyanathan, and he's back with us today to talk about Lord Muruga and the brewing, how should I say this, brewing storm in Tamil Nadu as the state start looking more and more towards theism, more and more towards its roots. Tamil Nadu is also called as the land of Vedas, although by listening to the TMK and ADMK leaders, you might not get that impression. Before I hand over the floor to Professor R. Vaidyanathan, it is my sincere request to all of you to subscribe to our channel and also donate to our channel. Thank you very much once again, Professor RV, for joining our hangout. And sir, what is your read on the situation that is evolving in Tamil Nadu, especially with a view towards the 2021 elections?
You see, as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, it's not something new to this type of what you may loosely call the crude atheist propaganda. From 1920, it has been going on. 1940, it got converted into Justice Party, and then it got fashioned. Out of that is what is called the unauthorized party of DMK, and then came the other various permutation combination of Dravidar groups. Basically, the Justice Party was the one which was very clear, and they conducted also in those days. I'm talking about the 50s, the agitation of garlanding Ramji's portrait to chapels and beating up of various type of these gods on road, and also breaking the statue of Vinayak and other. Of course, one offshoot of that, I always used to say, after this breaking up of Vinayak statues in the 50s, you will find 70s, 80s, and 90s. Every street corner, one Vinayak fellow was sitting, whether you like it or not.
Right.
Every street corner in Tamil Nadu. So that became one of the, what one can call, popular advertising thing for Lord Vinayak.
Sir, one question, sir.
Yeah.
You know, whenever we start writing on a piece of paper, we do something equivalent to oo or om, and it is usually called Pillayar Suri, right? So essentially, Pillayar Ganesha,
yeah,
he's completely embedded inside us. Anything, guys. I mean, today we may be all typing on the computer, but if there was a way to have a predefined header with an om, people would like to use that. I'm sure there are some people who have done that. So please continue.
Long, this tradition is there in different parts of the country in different ways. Gujarati, for instance, their accounts book, they start with om, or the swastik thing. Every part of the country has got their own way of basically initiating an activity which should go without any vigna or without any obstacles. Okay. Now, recently what has happened is, these Christian missionaries spread the information that Vinayak is not a part of Tamil God. Neither Ram nor Lakshmi and all those things. But Murugar is sort of acceptable. The original, according to them, the original Murugar unpolluted by the northern invaded Brahmin. So they used to be. Actually, lot of this propaganda was done by church in the later part of last century, as well as in the later part of 19th and as well as in 20th century. The church has done huge amount of propaganda regarding so-called quote-unquote Tamil religion, which is different than Hinduism. So this was basically one of the offshoots of the British propaganda, because EVR, everybody knows, was a bootlicker of British. He was an agent of British. He begged them not to leave India, actually. And he also declared that 14th August is a mourning day, which Annadurai didn't accept. Later he came out. And Annadurai always used to talk about one God, one community. Vandre Kulam, Urune Devan, he used to say. So that used to go on for some time. He was not too much wanted to identify with the atheist group. And but the atheist fringe group was always there, headed by later by this fellow, what is his name? Veeramani. That is the Dravidar Kazhagam, they call themselves, and there are various offshoots of Dravidar Kazhagam also, which has come about. And basically they don't contest election. They visualize or they pretend to be only for social movements and social justice. Very interestingly, when Periyar was alive, he was supporting Kamaraj. So because according to him, Kamaraj is a Dravidian, whatever it is. And these people, DMK used to abuse Kamaraj as Andanga Kai or a black man and other things. Anyhow, that used to be one side of the story. That was politics. Now, recently, what has happened is one group, after that Black Lives Matters in US, whenever something happens abroad, we try to imitate it. So here one Karpar Kutam, they call themselves, black group started, and then they began to abuse all these gods in various video. Interestingly, this time they also took Muruga as one of the major target for abuse. Some of the black group members were supposed to have been earlier with DMK IT group and other things. And there is, these are all, I call it EVR virus. In various forms, they would be in different location. That's all. But most important is the black groups abused Kandar Shetty Kavacham. That is one of the very famous songs in Tamil, praising Lord Muruga. And that is, chanted in practically most of the homes who are in Tamil Nadu. And Muruga is having 6 different locations. Arubadai Veedu is called actually. And all the 6 locations over the hill is in different ways, different postures and other things. Everywhere this Kanda Shetty Kavacham is sung actually as one of the major songs in praise of Lord Muruga. Basically, it tries to request Muruga to safeguard your interests, safeguard your health, safeguard your wealth, all the things. And in the process, there is one Padadi Kesanta Varnana from the toes to the head and all parts of the body. It is praying to Muruga to save you. And this black group ridiculed it, telling this contains about breast, this contains about bumps and other things. Anyhow, that has become a very major issue taken up, and something Muruga is more, I would rather call a sensitive subject compared to your Ram or Krishna or Vishnu or anything in Tamil Nadu. And so this became a very major issue actually. Large number of people combined together, not necessarily political, but even religious-minded people were very upset about it, and they complained another thing. And later on, it was taken up by Hindu Munnani and this what you call BJP and other thing. And they even had one day of worshipping the veil of Muruga. Veil is something like it's not a sword actually, it's a spear actually, which is symbolically representing Lord Muruga. Because incidentally, Muruga or Kartikeya is also associated with the killing Sura Samhara. So there is a Sura Samharam is very famously celebrated in the Muruga temple. He's supposed to be the destroyer of Sura Samha, who was one of the major, what you may loosely call the demons. Be that as it may. So this then the government was pressurized, and they did arrest 1 or 2 people connected with this black group. And but very interestingly, one youngster in the midst of something of this threw some small paint on one of the EVR statues in the southern part of the country. He was arrested under, believe me, NIA, as if he is major threat to the global stability, national sovereignty and other thing. And he is a very young man, 2021, in his enthusiasm or whatever it is. Whereas all these other fellows were not arrested under NIA or anything. They were arrested under normal rules. And so this current government is dicey. In the sense it is more like Kejriwal's odd even. On Mondays it is pro-Hindus, on Tuesday it is anti-Hindu, on Wednesday again it becomes. So he doesn't really know where it stands. The current ruling government I am telling about. And obviously the opposition was silent about it for quite some time. Then they were provoked and they were asked another thing. They didn't even make any categorical statements another thing. So, but the common people, not necessarily affiliated to these political parties, they were also very upset about this abusing of Lord Muruga. So it became a relatively a bigger issue actually. And immediately after that, you have this one of the sadhus. There are plenty of sadhus moving around in Tamil Nadu and other parts of the country. They live on the alms given by the general public. Actually, one of them very interesting story was he got huge amount of alms and significant portion of it is saved and went and gave it to the local collector or government official in order to use it for corona, what one can call a campaign in order to. So there are many sadhus actually who are mostly, having this saffron dress, moving around. They primarily depend on alms given by the individuals. There is one sadhu like that who was killed by a police official, believe me, who told that you are preventing this conversion and other thing and all that. Anyhow, that man, in a sense, he was not directly killed, but he was abused and so much. That man committed suicide. Before that, actually, what he did was he put all his grievance into a video. How this police inspector, who belongs to a Christian sect, abused him and all that, and that's the primary reason for him to get commit this suicide. Can you beat this? Huge number of days people have to campaign in order to have a case registered against the police official.
Yeah.
This is a very, very interesting thing because whenever there is a clear-cut evidence in the form of a recording by a person who committed suicide, there should have been immediate action for abetting to the suicide. He need not be punished, but at least action should have been initiated. It was not done. Very recently, a case has been filed, and it appears that concerned police official is also missing. He has gone to his hometown. Some people say he might have left for some other country. God knows anyhow. So this is also what one can call accentuated the feeling that are the Hindu sadhus meant to be treated like this, and are there? And you might remember there was a group of sadhus in Maharashtra actually who got killed actually. Palghar, and not much action has been initiated after that. And so there is a feeling that cross country there is a anti sadhu feelings are getting generated. So this is also added to the existing issues. So basically it is becoming slowly, and on top of it, Stalin, who is the son of Karunanidhi, who wishes during Ramjan, during this Christmas and other thing, he refused to wish always during the Vinayaka Chaturthi or any Hindu festival. He won't wish you for Diwali. He won't wish. They call Vinayak Chaturthi or Diwali or something as holidays, and holiday special, holiday debates will be there. But in the case of Christmas, it will be Christmas debates, Christmas special. So a large number of people are criticizing him. Even people who are can be considered as neutral or not. They say when you wish for other religions, why are you not wishing for this particular thing? It's after all a wishing, nothing. You are not participating in anything or anything. And his wife, of course, goes to temple after temple to pray for his health and other thing. And same thing about that lady Kanimuri, who is born out of wedlock for Karunanidhi. She is actually, in the technical term, she is an illegitimate daughter of Karunanidhi, because he himself openly used to say that she is born out of my friend, not out of my wife and other. This lady also goes around abusing Hindu gods and other thing in the midst of all these issues. Maybe she has her own ambition of becoming Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. God only knows what is the type of tussle taking place within the family. Now, there are some segment which want to convert this into a larger issue and make the coming assembly election as one between believer and non-believer, some sort of, and particularly those who abuse Hindu gods, and much water has flown down the river Kaveri compared to 60s and 70s, where people just ignored some of these activities. Now it is not like that, and there is a huge group of people who are very much upset about it and opposed to this and other thing. It is. And in the midst of this, this person, Rajinikanth, is expected to either join, give sympathy to any of the parties or float his own party. It's not clear. But one thing is, he believes in this Anmigam. He says Anmiga Arasiyal, which means earlier Muthuramalingam Thevar used to say, one of my eyes is Devigam, another eye is what one can call the nationhood, or another eye is something like your Desiyam. So Desiyam and Devigam are the two eyes. This was told by Muthuramalingam Thevar as early as 50s. He was one of the very ardent follower of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. He was actually having his own outfit of Netaji. When Netaji came, he mobilized something like 10,000 people in those days in Madurai. Unbelievable, actually. So, the continuation of Muthuramalingam Thevar politics is being visualized for Rajinikanth. So, there is a cauldron in Tamil Nadu, or what you may loosely call Manthan, which is getting churned. The Manthan is churned by not the traditional Vasuki, which is the serpent, but by various other political fellows are churning it. One doesn't know what is going to come out of it, Amrit or poison or both. If they come out, who is going to be Lord Shiva to swallow it and keep it in his throat prevented by Parvati? A lot of these questions are unanswered, actually, but we have to wait and see. I'm sure in the next couple of months, things will become much more clearer in the political spectrum, because there is also a talk of the Sasikala was the no, assistant to Jayalalitha, who is currently in jail. She is also expected to come out, actually, from the jail. So I think there is a huge manthan is taking place. So we have to wait and see how much of butter comes out of this manthan. That would give us a clue.
Yes, indeed, Professor RV. And sir, please take care of your health. This is Corona time. Corona still has not left us. So please take care of your health. And as always, thank you very much, sir. And viewers, that's all for today from Professor RV. And we will give you some updates on what is happening in Tamil Nadu and as well as the whole country as we progress towards a normalization of, or if we should say, post-corona time. And whatever Professor RV had foreseen, the changes that are going to be there are already happening. You can see that. And we'll be back with more on post-corona realities, what's happening, how to steer your life after that, and so on and so forth in our next hangout. Thank you very much, Professor RV, and namaskaram.
Thanks a lot. Thank you a lot.